Did they squander the Paul George experiment here?
I think they will squander it if they don't make the playoffs, or if they're make playoffs first round and out.
Right.
But it's for me, it's a tough situation because you're talking about adding to what Russ, did last year, and these two guys coming from teams where they were the man. It's tough to make that adjustment, man, and they just quite haven't figured it out. Now, I think Melo has figured out what he needs to do in terms of his sacrifice for the team. Paul George is still he's not there, and I don't think he feels comfortable in the role that he's in.
I haven't thought he's been comfortable all season long. The few times that I went out there to do games, Thunder games, and talk to him, it just seemed like there was always something, right? Whether he was asking to do too much, or not asking to do, but asked to do too much early on when it was really Russell's team, to just kind of fitting in and being a catch-and-shoot guy. And you know how when you turn into a catch-and-shoot guy, you sort of forget how to do everything else. And so, and you look at the big picture of this. Remember last year in the playoffs where he got all that attention for saying, I have to get the last shot? He wants to be the guy. And so you get into this situation where you're supposed to sort of fit in and not be a troublemaker in this new big three, but you also have to be yourself, and he has yet to find that balance. It seems like he's sort of conceding to the idea that, okay, look, even in clutch situations, I'm going to be the third option. That's the last thing that I want, so I'm just going to sort of play this out and see what happens. He's not being aggressive, and he's not really finding his role at the same time. It's just not good.
I don't think he's comfortable, and I don't think he likes this role, so yes, I think it's jeopardizing his future with this.
Right. So how much success do you guys feel they need to have in order for him to feel better about this year or his role?
I mean, at least compete for the Western Conference Championship.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, at least compete for it. They have the talent, dude. I mean, you're talking about three powerhouses over there. They don't have the chemistry. It's just not there.
You know, the tough thing, Mac, is it's not just, I mean, they're going to make the playoffs. I don't feel like they're the ones that are going to be left out. But the problem is, if you make it as a 7 or an 8, you're either going to see Houston or Golden State. That's not setting you up for success. So, you know, you could say, hey, we lost to the eventual champions, but you were the first one.
To me, he has to be in the same position that has to at least reach the same position that KD was before he left OKC. You've got to get to the conference championships, and then you say, okay, if we lose to the eventual champion, good, but we upset a great team on the way. We can still be really good. Maybe we can figure things out the second year the same way like LeBron and Dwayne did their second year and won a championship, and that can convince him to stay. But right now, it just seems like the role that he is playing is not consistent with what he wants. I mean, he's got this sort of rising scale of goals, starting back from when he won Most Improved Player to being a playoff performer to being a team leader. Now it feels like, wait, what's that next step when you're number 2 or number 3 on another team that's not going to win a championship? I think he's not great fit right now, not fitting comfortably right now.
Well, and, you know, it's not just that. It's also the shooting slump he's been going through. You can't hit the broadside of a barn, it feels like. And he actually addressed the media last night about that slump.
Got to figure out something mechanical in my shot. That's you know, I've had struggles throughout the season in my career of shooting it, but it's all just been not making shots that night. I don't know what it is. It feels funny. Shooting the ball feels funny.
This is not mechanical.
So, yeah, we see here that George is under 30% from three-point range since the All-Star break. Mac, you're a shooter. Is this slump something or nothing?
Well, the slump is something. I mean, we're talking about 4 or 5 games left before, playoff season start. You don't want to have this type of slump, late in the season. However, I don't think this is mechanical. I just think this is adapting to a new role.
Right.
Because before, when he was in Indiana, he touches the ball, he feels the ball, he gets his rhythm. It's tough to get that when Russ is dominating the ball. You're off the ball a lot more than you have ever been in your career. The same situation with Chris Bosh going to play with LeBron James. It's tough to figure out. Kevin Love went through that. When you go play with another superstar that dominates the ball, your role changes, and he just hasn't adapted to that all season long.
The reason I wonder if it is mechanical is because he was shooting 43% from 3 before the All-Star break, and so maybe it's something that the wear and tear of the season, but for him to acknowledge that it's something mechanical, I don't know if that's good or bad. It could be he's just avoiding the fact that it's in his head, or it could be something significant where he's just like, man, I've got to fix this before the playoffs start. Either way, I think it's something of a problem.
It's weird because all shooters go through slumps, right? It happens to everybody.
Sure.
So I mean, Tracy, I don't know if you remember what Klay Thompson a couple years ago. He started the year shooting like 32% from three, but I've never heard a shooter doubt himself that, right?
It feels weird.
Yeah, that it feels weird, and to me, I don't know what changed, other than you probably getting the same amount of shots. You're just in a funky slump right now.
Right. Yeah. Do you remember any slump of your career where you actually remember it today? Like, oh man, that stretch was rough.
We all go through that. We play 82 games. Nobody's going to shoot the ball extremely well for 82 straight games. We're going to go through a slump where, yeah, you feel like, something is there, but nothing mechanical.
Right.
I mean, you just feel like you probably got tired legs. You probably had a stretch of games where, you just don't have your legs there. But
and how do you get it back, or does it just come back by you?
Shooters keep shooting, bro.
There you go.
We do. We really do. We really do.